speak about it for June, it can resonate beyond that or before it. So just take it how it may resonate for you. But everybody is welcome, regardless of where you may have your sun, moon, rising, ascendant signs, etc. All right, so we're gonna check the sound here real quickly and make sure we're good. And also that we're going live on Facebook, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So let me just pull this up. And thank you for your patience and understanding. Okay. So let's just fix this real quickly. This is going to be the Sagittarius and Capricorn readings. I will be putting in timestamps after the live is done for some people who just want Capricorn or who just want Sagittarius. Oh my goodness, hold on. Okay. It's like make me change the title and all the things. Strange, it's not letting me change it to public. Okay, I'm not sure why. I'll figure that out later. Let me just check the sound. Okay, sound is okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it right now. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do some incense here to kind of clear the energy ourselves and just kind of tap in and see what kind of spirit messages we have coming up for Sagittarius and Capricorn. So we're going to start with Sag. And we're just gonna clear the bones and charms with a little smoke here. And a little bit for me. A little bit for you guys. Yes, yes. Okay, so we'll just put this over here. Okay. So, do our sound bell now. So it's a good time to check in, to take a couple of deep breaths if you feel guided, that kind of thing. Whatever feels right. If you're sensitive to sound, you can temporarily turn it down a little bit because it does get loud. All right. So anyway, without further ado, this is going to be for Sagittarius for June 2025. So when I shuffle the bones and charms in this bowl, they also make a little bit of noise, but it's not for forever. So feel free to turn it down a little bit if you need to. And thank you for your understanding and patience. All right. So spirits, please guide my hands. Spirits, please guide my hands. Messages for Sagittarius, fire sign Sagittarius for June 2025. What does Sagittarius need to know for the highest vibration and truth? Messages for Sagittarius. Messages for Sagittarius for June 2025. Messages for Sagittarius. Messages for Sagittarius. Messages for Sagittarius. Spirits guide my hands. Alright. I need to cut that string. Okay, anyway. Spirits, guide my hands, please. Spirits, please guide my hands. Messages for fire sign Sagittarius for their highest good for June. Messages for Sagittarius for June for their highest good. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Sagittarius for June. What do they need to see? What does Sagittarius need to know? Messages for Sagittarius. Messages for Sagittarius. Messages for Sagittarius. Okay. Make sure I don't drag any of that off the table. I got this thing and I wanted to wear it, but it's kind of not really the best for the reading, but that's okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn over some of the bones and charms that I can. So when I take the camera down in a few moments, you can see everything more up close in detail. It doesn't change their meaning, right? We're just flipping some of them and bringing them closer. And also I will be taking a picture at the end that I will upload onto my Facebook later in case anyone wants to look at it, all that good stuff. Okay. So also anything that falls outside of the main black mat in the middle here that's on this white part, it's still going to be in these different sections that we're going to talk about, but it's just past energy. So if I again move them closer, it doesn't change their meaning. It just is easier like for us to see in a few moments. That's good enough for now, and then I'll move anything else as we go through the reading. I also want to see where Spirit wants me to start this reading because it's different every time. Spirits, where would you like me to start this Sagittarius June reading? Spirits, please guide my hands. Put my pen there, but it's basically the energy is drawing me in between kind of two sections right on the line here, Sagittarius. So it's between the spiritual unconscious intuition section and also work and money. All right, so that's where they want to start. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, all right, so let me go ahead and just take the camera down so you guys can see it better. So go on a little ride here. And I think I might turn the music down just a little bit because I know sometimes it's hard to hear me because I have a soft voice, and we're gonna try to talk a little bit louder and project. Okay. You can usually hear me better once the camera's closer to me, of course. But yeah, let's see what we have here, Sagittarius. So as you can see, we have these different sections, right? And all the different bones and charms. So if we look at everything here, Sagittarius, it looks pretty spread out, but I would say the majority of your bones and charms is in relationships and love. Okay, like these two are the busiest kind of sections. And then you have work and money. There's still some stuff going on in body and mental health and spiritual unconscious, but it just may be that spirit wants you or your spiritual team to focus like more on these areas at this time. All right. But yeah, as you come to this reading, it could be about you, about someone you're dealing with, multiple people, kind of general environment situation, or just the general energy. So again, take it how it may resonate for you. And always feel free to check out your sun, moon, and rising or ascendant signs that you can find in a lot of the free birth charts online, all that good stuff. Okay, so anyway, Saggy, the energy was drawing me right here. And actually, even though this is like your barest section, it was like here and here, again, on that kind of line there, those dotted lines. And right here where we have the green lucky rabbit's foot, okay? So the green lucky rabbit's foot, right, is all about luck, okay? And since it's on the line, it's going to apply to spiritual unconscious and your work and money section here. But again, they kind of want me to go to this section first. So that's what we're going to do. So we also have over here, Sagittarius, the alligator claw, right? And it's reaching and striving and trying to grab a few things here in the middle, okay? And like I've said many times before, but for the new people too, whatever falls in this center circle where all the lines converge is going to affect all the different sections, okay? So it could be also why they want to start here, because there's just a lot that's like kind of overlapping. So with that being said, Sagittarius, okay, the alligator claw here is also touching, the first thing it's touching is this white bone here. This is the armadillo backbone vertebrae piece, okay? Then we have the feather over here, all right? We've got that also touching the ship anchor, okay? And these are also touching, if we go this way, okay, we've got the coyote claw, and then we have the baby, okay? And they're not, well, that is touching that too. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's a lot, but it's okay. It's not a bad thing. They're not touching the listening bells over there, so we'll leave that alone. But it looks like the baby and the coyote claw are also touching a few of these other things that are all kind of touching each other. So even though I said that relationships and love looks like the busiest section, okay, it still is like a lot of this stuff is touching each other, which applies to all the different areas, okay? But what I really like to see here, Sagittarius, is with that feather kind of under the alligator claw and the armadillo bone touching each other, it's about clearing and cleansing something here, Sagittarius. It could be clearing and cleansing your or someone else's spiritual, unconscious, intuitive sense of freedom and safety here, right? Since, we drop our ship anchor when we need to stop our boat, so to speak, and we lift it when we need to go. So freedom and safety, clearing and cleansing something here, Sagittarius. It could also be talking about having like a hard outer shell to protect the soft underbelly, so to speak. That is the spiritual unconscious, our intuition, right? What we feel at night when we're alone, when we're sleeping, like our gut reactions to things, okay? So that there is this, beautiful good luck in striving for these things, okay? And we also have that coyote claw, okay, that can talk about a sense of community, since coyotes are pack animals here. And there's the beautiful baby. It's kind of on its side here a little bit, but it is face up. So the baby, okay, can talk about lots of different things. But when we're talking about the spiritual unconscious, it could be someone's inner child. It could just be a childlike energy, okay? But it's like someone is awake here and trying to manifest these things, right? And then when it goes over this way, okay, we have our first human tooth bone right here. So chewing over and digesting, not only like spiritual intuitive happiness here with the sun, but maybe perhaps like how our spiritual team is helping us achieve those things, right? Or what do those things mean to us and others, right, too? So here we have the angel coin, but it can also be ancestors, spirit guides, guardian angels, past on loved ones, friends, and family. Now it is covering something, so I'm going to lift it up and see what we have underneath here and just move that over. So there we have Pisces, the twin fish. And that is also touching if we go this way, all right, the coffin charm, okay? And so the coffin charm, if it wants to go the way it should go, roughly like that, is just like the angel coin, okay, that we had, a symbol for past on loved ones, friends, ancestors, your spiritual team, basically. So this could have something here, Sagittarius, to do with the Pisces, or during Pisces season, or where you may have Pisces in your chart. But if it's none of those zodiac things, or in addition to that, it could also just be talking about the need to go with the flow and not against the tide, spiritually, unconsciously, intuitively, okay? So it's like double spiritual team maybe is helping you with this Sagittarius during this time, okay? Because we also can see right next to the sun, we've got Pegasus here, we got the rope charm, we have Daddy Saturn over here, we have the balance scales, we have feminine energy, and something else underneath I'll check in a second. Okay, but here this is talking about really our sense of freedom over time. Daddy Saturn is coming in here and getting us serious about this. So what is our, again, spiritual, intuitive, unconscious sense of freedom and safety? But freedom is here again twice, Sagittarius. And you know, Sagittarius, if you're a sun sign Sagittarius, or even if you've got a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, ruled by Jupiter, freedom, expansion, truth is like, you know, top Sagittarius theme. So it doesn't kind of surprise me that that's showing up here. This could also have something to do with the Libra during Libra season, where you may have Libra in your chart. But it could also really just be about some kind of sense of equal give and take, because this long bone here is the raccoon penis bone, the first one in the reading. Okay, so you have masculine energy here, and then over here you have the feminine charm that is also touching the balance scale. So it could even just be something about balancing that masculine and feminine energy that we all have inside of us. Okay, so I'm going to kind of very carefully lift up that raccoon penis bone and see what else we have underneath. Okay, so look at that, Sag. We have the crown, once the camera wants to focus. The crown is underneath Pegasus, the winged horse here, okay? And then we also have the cloud. So it looks like there could be someone in a higher up position than you, more knowledge or more spiritual intuitive confidence that maybe is going to help you achieve this sense of happiness and freedom. It could also be your own leadership qualities here. I feel like it definitely could be both, Sagittarius, but because we have that cloud there that is also going this way, touching the question mark, it's like there's questions or doubts here about something, okay? So it's like this person or this energy or group of people, again, that has more spiritual, intuitive, unconscious knowledge or more confidence here. They want to help you balance something out. Okay, so it's not touching the yin and yang, but it is very close over here. But it is definitely touching the Libra energy, the balance scales. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that roughly back where it was, so something like that. Okay. As we follow that up though, and it goes this way, right? Now we have a piece of, let me turn it this way, you can see a little bit better, hopefully in a second. Anyway, this is the fish vertebrae bone, okay? If I turn it that way, you can definitely see it better. And then underneath it, we have the lightning bolts, okay? So here, Sagittarius, this is like finding whatever this balance is between the masculine and feminine, working through some type of confusion or doubt, is then going to bring up, well, where is the support? And again, how do I go with the flow with it? Here, water energy with that fish vertebrae. Okay, so your spiritual support team could also really be like, hey, look over here. We've got all these new ideas that you or someone or the energy needs to listen to. Okay, because this is my listening seashell. I don't know what's going on with my camera right now, but come on. It's like, you want me to go closer or further away? Let's see. Sometimes if I just be patient. No? Okay. Well, anyway, we'll just keep talking and you'll have to take my word for it as we go through here, okay? But yeah, Sagittarius, it's like going with the flow with whatever your spiritual team is, okay? And that can also be people that are still alive, right? So even though I said with the angel coin and the coffin, passed on loved ones, friends, family, ancestor, spirit guides, it also definitely can be people that are still alive, okay? So at the end of, or at the top over here, of that raccoon penis bone, that masculine energy, divine masculine energy, okay, higher vibrational we're talking about, there is the witch charm. So that's my symbol for a friend, a group of friends, or some type of friendly energy that wants to help you with this. Again, it could just be your spiritual support team, alive and passed on people or spirits on the other side. They want you to listen for all these new ideas with that listening seashell, okay? And as we go this way, there's all this success with this Sagittarius with the fish. Then you have your North Star here. You've got the bicycle kind of in the background, which is then touching this huge buckeye, right? So the bicycle can represent not only a lot of movement here, Sagittarius, but even, let's say, travel in your dreams, astral travel. It could just be, again, a lot of movement and abundance, okay, with all these new ideas that your spiritual team wants to bring in, regarding your unconscious and your intuition. Now, because there's all this movement here, there's also possibly a need, Sagittarius, to slow down a little bit here with the turtle, okay? And then the turtle is also touching there you are, Sagittarius. Symbol for Sagittarius on top of it is, if I can move it over gently, the bow and arrow, right? That's you, or depending on where you have Sag in your chart. So I'm putting that little bumblebee back on top the way it was, and we're just going to move the turtle back. So it's interesting here, Sagittarius. It's like your symbol, okay, is pointing also the arrow to the fish, okay? And again, the fish is touching the listening seashell, which is touching the star. So it's like following your North Star with whatever your spiritual, unconscious, intuitive goals are here, Sagittarius. So where do we pull back the arrow and hit those targets of things that we want? Okay, there's a deep sense here too, Sagittarius, of individuality and a sense of community here with the honeybee, okay? And it's like when you or another person of the energy shifts to listen to these new ideas, to follow the North Star, that's when we're also going to have more balance now going this way with that yin yang symbol, okay? Now, all of this spiritual abundance, and when we normally talk about abundance, it can be about money, right? But it's also just about, because we're talking about the spiritual unconscious, it's about whatever you want to manifest, or someone else, or the energy. There's a lot of emotions with that, and it feels like good emotions, right? And there's the cup here is then also touching this masculine charm. So being proactive, assertive, aggressive with these abundant emotions, okay? Let's see what's on the other side here. Can't tell if it's touching. Let me lift. Yeah, probably. Okay, so it is touching the broom, if you guys can see that, all right? And then the broom is touching the scissors. Okay, so now here, Sagittarius, we have two cleansing agents. So clearing, cutting away things that are no longer useful with our intuition, with our spirituality, our unconscious. Like when you do this, or someone else does, or the energy does this, then we have even more good luck over here with the horseshoe and the ladybug. And it's like a big part of the puzzle, right? Is if we're not clearing and cleansing things, then we won't have room for this abundance to come in. So think of it as like spring cleaning your spiritual closet, right? So I definitely really like that, Sagittarius. So as we go this way, they're not touching. It's like a little space there, so I'm going to leave that for later. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. There's like little tiny spaces in between here. I'm just going to go ahead and say that these two were probably touching because I've moved them a little bit, okay? So if we go behind your Sagittarius energy, the bow and arrow here, and again, this could also have something to do with another Sagittarius for you, Sagittarius, or even Sagittarius season, but it doesn't have to be. But Cupid is my symbol for all types of love, whether it's romantic, platonic with friends and family, or self-love, or all of the above. But they're also wanting to help you clear and cleanse something here, Sagittarius, with the leaf, right? So the old leaves fall off the trees in winter and fall, so we can have room for new leaves in the spring. And when, again, you accept, remember how I said your spiritual team, people that are still alive, spirits on the other side, when you do this, or someone else, or the energy shifts this way, this brings all these beautiful answers, okay? And the key charm is kind of hiding, or I've just pulled it out there, it was hiding underneath the spider and the spider web. So when we do this spiritual cleaning of the closet and cleansing, now spiritual answers, intuitive answers may come in, and it kind of affects your whole environment here, or affects someone else's spiritual environment with the spider and the spider web. But I would say it's, for the best, okay? And that's how it looks and it feels. And then you have the second honeybee over here on top of it on the side. So again, it's kind of echoing individuality and community, okay? So what is my individual effort with my spirituality, my unconscious, my intuitive side, and what can be the community effort to help me with those things, okay? So there's this beautiful sense of healing energy here with the lizard as well, Sagittarius. So as we know, certain lizards, you cut off their tail and it regrows, all right? But very, very beautiful. Now these other things aren't touching, so I'm going to leave that over there for later. But these things were, touching the coffin here and the key that I kind of just pulled out, okay? Like, so if I pull back and you wait for the camera, there we go. These things were also touching where we started the reading with the green lucky rabbit's foot, okay? So with the coffin being here in the background, and I can see we've got the no coin on top, we got the chair here, and it looks like we also have the cat's eye, but I'm going to make sure in a moment when I move it. On the other side of the cat's eye, we have the bobcat tooth. We've got the butterfly kind of hanging out here underneath as well. So let me just lift this up for a moment and move it over. Okay, so that's the only thing that's there. I just wanted to kind of make sure. All right, so I'm gonna like gently put that like that, okay? So here, Sagittarius, you know, we're still in the spiritual, unconscious, intuitive section, right? But this baby that we saw in the beginning, okay, the energy is still there. It wasn't touching, but very close. This playful energy, the inner child energy. This could have something to do with the home, okay, where you live, someone else. It could also be, where do we spiritually feel at home? Because there's all this good luck with that. But as we go this way, and we have that no coin on top of, okay, the cat's eye. The cat's eye is telling us that there's some information that we don't know here yet. It's a little bit cloudy, right? So if you're familiar with tarot, I always say that the cat's eye is like the moon card. We still don't know something here. So when we see the no, okay, I'm trying to put it back the way it was roughly. No doesn't always have to be something bad, right? As the toddler, that's like the first word we learn sometimes, and it's always seen as so negative. But sometimes there's a power in saying no, you know, to someone else or to a thing, right? But it's also like Spirit is coming in here, Sagittarius, in saying if we don't know all the information about something, it's okay to say no until we get that information. So no doesn't have to be for forever, it can be for right now, because that's also an angel, okay? And just like that famous saying, rejection is God's protection, okay? But when you say no, or someone else does, or the energy does, this sets some really clear boundaries here, Sagittarius, with that bobcat tooth, okay? And that's because it's still a cat, okay? And so cats are really good at setting their boundaries. If they don't want to be pet or bothered with, they're gonna clearly let you know that, okay? But again, I don't see this no as a bad thing, because there's all this good luck around it, all right? And it's just doesn't feel bad, okay? Like I said, sometimes there's a power in saying no or accepting a no in some way, okay? Now also over here with that butterfly that was kind of hiding underneath and then touching the second raccoon penis bone going this way, this is about some type of spiritual transformation, okay? And being proactive, assertive, aggressive with this. So the spiritual, unconscious, intuitive transformation, since we're still in this section, right, could be like, if you didn't have the ability to say no before or accept the no before, now you may be able to do that, or someone else may be able to do that, or the energy in general, like setting those clear boundaries. And it could have something to do with the home, or in the home here, or just where someone feels like spiritually at home and comfortable enough to set those boundaries, right? So really, really interesting. Okay, Sagittarius. Let's see. I think those were all that were kind of touching there. That's a lot, though. All right. But yeah, the last, like, other two small things I didn't mention that are in this section is you have the snake vertebrae over here, backbone piece, right? And then you have the coyote penis bone over here, so masculine energy. So it's almost like if we pull all the way back, again, this is like your barest section. So whatever you are, and it's not bare, right? Because all those other things we're touching and all that stuff we just talked about, but whatever you or someone else is doing here at this time, evolve and shed the skin, okay, like the snake does, so your spiritual support system can keep helping you or someone else or the energy be proactive, assertive, aggressive with clearing that energy that we talked about, right? We had the feather, and then over there we also have the broom and the scissors and all those things, okay? But this is still really like beautiful here, Sagittarius, because there's all this happiness and healing mixed together with all of the things we just mentioned, okay? So very, very cool. Okay, So, with that being said, let's go ahead now and move into your body and mental health section here. We're going to look at some of the things that went off the black mat on the white part and then kind of move inwards, okay? So, yeah, let's see what we got. So, we got the frog here on the left, we got the turkey wishbone, we have the bat, okay? That's like right on the line. If we pretend like that dotted line just keeps going out, okay? And then we also have right on the line this dog ankle bone. So when we're talking about someone's body and mental health, and in the past, whether it's a couple days ago, weeks, months, years, etc., it looks like there could have been a big leap of faith to like someone following what they're wishing for in terms of their health, because I almost feel like the frog maybe wants to jump inside here, okay, or go this way, to activate whatever we wish for in terms of our body and mental health, those wishes. This could have started in the past and they're catalysts for what we'll see over here in the future, current, present energies. But it also looks like with that dog ankle bone, like being flexible with like some kind of subtle vibrations here. Okay, so bats are blind, they communicate with sounds only. So it could be like being flexible with some type of messages or subtle vibrations that we receive within the body and mental health, okay? Because I do see a lot of emotions here with the water charm and reaching and striving for something, possibly thinking about how to get back a sense of purity or gentleness for the body and the mind here with the deer tooth and then the raccoon claw. I can also see here, Sagittarius, that there may be some type of message or communication that's very challenging, or it's about some challenges here with the body and the mental health. This could be something that you're receiving or you're giving out, or just comes in general, okay? But it kind of activates, let's say, the hummingbird over here right underneath the word body on the mat. So it's like doing something unconventional with the body, or doing things that we feel naturally we're good at within our body, and how that makes us feel, because the hummingbird flies backwards and not forwards, right? So doing things that maybe other people won't understand right away, but maybe you know, or someone else knows, or the energy knows that that's like what they need to do for their body and their mental health as well, okay? Now, when this message comes in or goes out, right, this could have like both masculine and feminine energy within it. It feels very balanced, okay? So we have this coyote penis bone here, we've got the feminine charm, and then if we keep following that dotted line this way, now we have that balance scales Libra energy. So again, this could have something to do with the Libra, or during Libra season, or where you may have Libra in your chart, or someone else, okay? Excuse me. But it's really about, where do we find some type of equal give and take within the body? It could have something to do with the judicial system, courts, cases, laws, that kind of thing, but it doesn't have to be. But over time, we do have Daddy Saturn here coming in and making you or someone else, or the energy, get more serious and organized about these things. It's a slow moving earth energy, okay? And you're a fire sign, Sagittarius, right? But this is like helping you or someone else get more stable and serious in these areas. And this, may be like shockingly surprising, or maybe it's not shockingly surprising, but it brings in a sense of freedom, okay, and happiness with that, all right? And this could also be you working with a teacher, a mentor, a guide, or someone that just has more knowledge than you, okay? It could be like your health is leveling up in some way, or someone else's body and mental health is leveling up. This could make you more confident, or you're working with someone else who is more confident and knowledgeable, right? So in this areas, when we're talking about that, it could be a doctor, right? A practitioner, a trainer, etc. But it doesn't have to be, okay? what I like about this too is you can't see, but there's a little space here, right? And it almost looks like, if we look at the figure on the mat here, Sagittarius, that's meditating, that it's something about like you have in your hands the listening bells, okay? Right? If we move it over, the listening bells are in your hand here, Sagittarius. So listen to your body, listen to your mind. It's like you have almost like, it feels like the keys in your hand, even though it's just the listening bells, okay? And what I really also like, that's by the foot here, or the knee, or just the foot, right? Is we have the ship anchor. So it's about freedom and safety within our body and our mind, and clearing and cleansing things that we need to take care of here, Sagittarius, with that feather, then going back here and leading back to kind of the center circle again that we talked about. It affects all the kind of different areas. So this could be having like a hard outer shell, and being again with that daddy Saturn energy, more serious, more organized with something, having thicker skin, with the body and mental health here, but still manifesting and working within a community sense here with the coyote claw. It's like working within the community, and having that playful energy here with the baby. Now that we're in the body and mental health section, this could also be about your children here, Sagittarius, if you have children, or someone else's, okay? But this childlike energy helping with all of these things. So you could be chewing over and digesting this, or someone else's, or the energy, right? But your spiritual team is here twice again. Okay, with the angel coin that we know underneath has that Pisces energy, the twin fish, okay, and then it's leading into that coffin charm. So this could have something to do with the Pisces, or during Pisces season, or where you have Pisces in your chart. I feel like a broken record, but I have to say it. So this could also be about going with the flow here, Sagittarius, with this youthful energy, with this clearing and a cleansing energy, okay, and working through some type of confusion here, again, either with someone that has more knowledge than you, or so you can level up in your body and mental health here with that crown, and then this raccoon penis bone going through the cloud charm that's underneath it, okay? And as we follow it back up this way, we see that fish vertebrae was here as well, and then underneath it, is the lightning bolt, okay? So here it's like being proactive, assertive, aggressive, with also our support system when it comes to body and mental health. So again, this could be doctors, it could be trainers, body guides, mental health guides, whatever you want to call it, therapists, counselors, etc. Or it could just be your own friends and family, romantic partners, self-love, like how all those things affect the body and mental health here, because these new ideas want to come in. This friendly energy wants to help with this as well, with the witch charm here, okay? And so it's like really listening. Remember how I said the listening bells are in your hand, Sagittarius? Here you have the listening seashell. If we put it up to our ear, we could hear the ocean, right? So here's this feminine energy coming in and being like, be open and soft to these new ideas that want to come in about the health, because it's going to lead to not only success and prosperity with the fish, but lots of movement here. With the bicycle, this could also be talking about exercise, since we're talking about body and mental health. It could be modes of transportation, but just a lot of movement here. So the need to go slow, even though it's like on one hand go fast, but on the other hand go slow, or go slower because everything else is going fast here, Sagittarius. A lot of abundance in like having emotions that are, let's say again, more masculine or proactive or assertive, aggressive with the health. As we go this way, to also talk about clearing and cutting away and cleansing something is a big piece of the puzzle, to bring in even more good luck here, okay? Now, as we go back down this way here, Sagittarius, this could be about you following your own North Star and listening to yourself here, okay? This is also about, again, individuality, your individual effort in taking care of your body and your mind, also the community sense, people supporting you, the doctors, etc. And if there are some questions or doubts or confusion, your loved ones here are showing up and just saying, keep clearing and cleansing with Cupid and the leaf here, because then answers will come into your health environment or someone else's or the energy, okay? Because then you have the second honeybee. So I always say the little story with the honeybee, right, is if all the honeybee, the worker bees, formed a union and each one of them quit, there would be no honey. The honeybee, the queen bee would die, and all the little worker bees would die too. So it's like individual power, each little bee's effort being felt in the community and separately. This is going to bring some kind of sense of responsibility and healing here, which I really like for you, Sagittarius, okay? All right, so that pretty much, well, no, we didn't go this way. Okay, last thing over here. It's hard to see all of them at the same time. So I'll try to stay still and hopefully the camera will focus again. But as we go this way, Sagittarius, remember that coffin charm, okay, was also touching the cat's eye here, which is touching the bobcat tooth. We see the butterfly under here. We see the no coin. We see the chair charm, and then the lucky rabbit's foot this way. We also have that second raccoon penis bone. So here, Sagittarius, your spiritual team in terms of your health or someone else's body and mental health could be like, if we don't have all the answers with that cat's eye underneath and we have some type of no, again, whether you give a no or receive a no or just a no here, it's about some type of boundaries with that bobcat tooth. It could be boundaries within the home, okay, or about the home here with the chair where you or someone else physically lives. But this no, it felt like it before too when we were talking about the other section, is like, it's okay to say no, or it feels good to say no, okay? It's like, no, I'm at home now. Like, I'm not doing that. Or no, my home is where I work on my body and mental health, or whatever it is, right? I'm just making examples, okay? Because there is a big transformation happening because of these strong boundaries or this no type of energy. So you or someone else could be really proactive or assertive or aggressive with this, with that second raccoon penis bone here, right? That masculine kind of divine, higher vibrational masculine energy, okay? All right, so that is for the body and mental health. We got everything covered there. All right. So I kind of want to take a break from this for a second, because that's your last section we're going to do, even though it's been touching everything else. And kind of look at your work and money section here, Sagittarius, see what's going on in the past, and then move inward, okay? So we have quite a few things going on here in the past, okay, in terms of someone's work, their money, their finances, their sense of being valued. Here we've got the seahorse charm, we've got the safety pin, we have a human tooth bone, we got the mermaid, okay? So let's just kind of stop there for a second and go over those. So my seahorse charm here talks about family. It can be blood family, relatives, parents, etc. And or also it could be whoever you consider your tribe, your group of people. But there was a sense of safety here in the past, and perhaps someone was chewing over and digesting this, really longing for this, because this is like all positive, right? But if we keep going, we see the irresponsibility coin here as well. So in the past, somebody could have been irresponsible with their work, with their money, their finances, or a sense of being valued. Because even if, you know, let's say some people are watching this and they're retired, it's not just about work and money, it's how we feel valued or how we value others as well, okay? So, like I said, on one side, there's some really nice positive things, and then there's more of that irresponsibility energy here. So, it's not placing blame or judging, right? But it's really like if someone was longing to like make peace with this or not be irresponsible anymore, then if we go this way, we can see feminine energy here, the seashell along with the freedom handcuffs. So being open, ready to receive gentle feminine energy coming in here to find a sense of freedom with the work or at work with the money, the finances, or a sense of being valued. This is then also kind of leading to the fork here that's in the background. All right. And so the fork can be asking in the past, someone here or the energy was like, well, what's my spiritual? No, it could be spiritual, but what's my work environment? What's my money philosophy or viewpoint? What am I digesting in terms of my work, my money, my finances, my sense of being valued here? Okay, so someone was maybe really reaching and striving for this, or the energy was in the past, okay, to kind of ask those like bigger questions. Now I'm going to kind of put the pen here where that imaginary dotted line is. You can see a little bit here, right, going all the way back, okay? But remember where we started your reading here, Sagittarius, was right here with the green lucky rabbit's foot and also the alligator claw. So there's all this double good luck in terms of work or money or finances or a sense of being valued. There's a big transformation that may be happening here, okay, for some of you guys with that butterfly, okay? And this is leading into that raccoon penis bone. Again, higher vibrational masculine energy. So as a stereotype, we could say being proactive, assertive, aggressive with whatever this transformation is. It could be that this transformation here, Sagittarius, happens when you say no or someone else says no, or there's some type of no that just comes in. This no could be something about the home or in the home with the chair where you live or someone else, okay? It could also be like, where do we feel at home with work, or where do we feel at home when we're at work, or comfortable? It's like comfortability. I said that before when we were talking about something else, right? So being comfortable to say no or something about clear boundaries here, again with that bobcat tooth and then the cat's eye underneath. If we don't have all the information, then we have to say no until someone feels comfortable, because there's all that, double good luck going this way, right? And so I would also say here, Sagittarius, that alligator claw, remember, is reaching and striving for the armadillo bone. It's touching it. The nail is touching it. So this is about having a hard outer shell, maybe at work or with the work, the money, the finances, our sense of being valued, needing to clear or cleanse something here, again with the feather, and clear or cleanse, like, where do we find freedom and safety with that ship anchor? Okay, where do we work within the work and money and finances community? So that could be co-workers, boss, etc., banks, institutions, right? And again, or just our sense of being valued, because that community aspect wants this playful energy to come in with the baby, or perhaps the baby here could be like, that's why we need to have more of a hard outer shell and have a clear sense of freedom and safety, because maybe we're taking on more work for the children in our lives, the 3D physical children for some of you guys, or it could just be that inner child youthful energy, okay? But your spiritual team is here double time, like we said before, with that angel coin in the coffin now going this way. And we also have Pisces, the twin fish that was hiding underneath. So it's like needing to go with the flow here with something, okay? It could also have something to do with the Pisces during Pisces season, where you have Pisces in your chart or someone else, okay? Um, but this is also about some type of happiness here, happiness at work with the money, the finances, our sense of being valued. So this could talk about leveling up here, like wanting a raise, right? More responsibilities. It could be working with a higher up, like a boss or someone that just has more knowledge or confidence than you in certain areas at work, or the money, the finances. So over time, though, we know Daddy Saturn is here and he's coming in to help us get organized and serious about something, the slow moving earth energy, and pairing it with also that Libra energy with the balance scales. So this could have something to do with the Libra during Libra season, where you have Libra in your chart. But really finding some kind of equal give and take with the work and the money. There's also masculine and feminine. So balancing the masculine and feminine inside of us also is really important while we're at work. We don't want to be just masculine, because then we're like viewed as too aggressive, right? Or we don't want to be just feminine, because then we're stereotyped as too soft. So it's like balancing both of those things is always really important, and is going to help you, Sagittarius, or someone else, or the energy, work through any type of confusion here or doubts about, well, is it even possible, right, to have this balance? It is possible, right? So as we continue to follow this raccoon penis bone going out this way, right, it's like your support system with the money, the work, the finances, again, co-workers, a boss, bank, institutions, etc., or even just your regular support system, your romantic partner, your friends, all that stuff. They want you to listen for these new ideas. There's a beautiful friendly energy here with the witch charm, okay? And when you listen to these new ideas, or someone else does, or the energy, it brings in a lot of movement and success here, Sagittarius. And for you to continue to follow your North Star there, right? We've got the Sagittarius bow and arrow. That's you right there, okay? Could also have something to do with another Sagittarius or during Sagittarius season, but it doesn't have to be. And then there's the honeybee again. So we've said a lot about community and individual power, and going slow with those distinctions and how they work together and separately. Cupid is here, so your loved ones want you to focus on these things, because there can be healing there, right, within the work or at work, or the money, the finances. Your loved ones also may want you to clear things that are no longer needed. Let's say with work or money, or your idea of money as an example. Some people could have a poverty mindset, maybe changing the way you think about money or think about work here, because that's going to affect the whole work and money environment with the spider and the spider web, and bringing answers and all this beautiful healing energy. Also, if we go this way, when that movement comes in, it's like it's a balance here too, Sagittarius, between going really fast and then, let's say, really slow with the turtle. Look at all that abundance, and it's like it brings in the abundance at work with the money, the finances, the sense of being valued, all these emotions that could be classified as masculine, or it could be about a masculine, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be being more proactive with the emotions, so we can continue to also clear and cleanse something here, Sagittarius, that's no longer useful with the work, the money, the finances. So again, we can have even more good luck going that way, okay? So yeah, that is pretty much all for the work and money section, okay? So now we come to your last section. We've been talking a lot about all these things that cross in the center circle, and they're all kind of applying to the different sections. So I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but that's just the way that the reading is, okay? This is the way it's showing up. So there are a few things over here that we haven't talked about yet at all, and in the past a little bit. And then just looking at this in like a even another level, okay? Because this is your busiest section. This is, you can't even see the words on there, but this is relationships and love section. So all types of relationships, romantic, platonic, self-love, okay? So let's go and start over here and look what we have in the past, okay? So here, Sagittarius, we got the lion, Leo the lion showing up. We got the strawberries. So in the past, in terms of relationships, it could have something to do with the Leo or during Leo season. And if it's not that, it could also be talking about there was in the past a lot of passion and creativity with going over the fine print or the details in one relationship or all, okay? Um, as we also move over this way, we can see in the past that there was a lot of abundance with the money bags here that could have even gone back to, let's say, past lives, or this abundance was a long time coming here with the seashell. There was also possibly some kind of, aspect where someone was doing their homework. They were trying to be more flexible to the subtle vibrations and how they communicate in their relationships here. Again, whether it's you, Sagittarius, someone else, multiple people, general environment situation with the bat and that dog ankle bone. And very interestingly, this we haven't talked about at all either. And it's kind of like half pushing the end of that mat up a little bit, or the cloth, whatever you want to call it. But here we have the corn charm, and I wish the camera would focus, the lock, okay? So it's almost like, and it's distinct here that it's just the past because it pushed up the mat. It's like, oh no, this was just past. Like that spirit wants you to know that was just past for some reason, okay? So it could be if there was stagnant energy in the relationships in the past that could have been around trying to build something here or plant something of substance, right? Something of deeper meaning within our relationships here, or just planting seeds for the future. I can also see that your spiritual team is big right here with that skeleton hand, half in the past, half in the current, present, future energies, but it's also very close to the peace doves and then the ship charm and then the apple. So it's like your spiritual team here saying in the past that if there was a peaceful energy around either something to do with traveling with someone in one of your relationships, or just being by water and how peaceful that is. Like water can even be so healing, it can be a teacher in itself, right? But this could also be you working with a teacher, a mentor, a guide, or your own leadership qualities here too showing up, okay? So I wanted to show you here too, Sagittarius, because it totally makes sense that this is like your busiest section. Because look, both of your skulls are showing up here. Okay, I'm just gonna put this one right side up a little bit. So one is in the past and one is in the future, current, present energy. So relationships like heavy on someone's mind or the energy, right? So it's like in the past, the mind could have been heavy on what is my support system, which relationships are supportive, which ones aren't. It looks like there was a lot of learning here in the past as well, Sagittarius, with the book charm here, okay? And someone thinking a lot about with the dragonfly really close here too, and in this fish vertebrae, excuse me, like I can't stop having like hold on. Water is good. Maybe I ate something spicy earlier. I don't even know. All right. Anyway, I've been talking a lot today. Bear with me. So here, Sagittarius, this is like, our goals and our dreams and like these are both fish vertebrae. Okay. I mean, a whale technically isn't a fish, but they're both water animals, let's say, and they're both the backbone and they're both support systems, right? So that was a big thing, like where is the support? Is it good support? Is it not good support, right? A lot of that was happening. Those heavy thoughts were happening in the past and still currently going on a little bit as well. with the fork going all the way out here, that's also on that dotted line. Remember, if it continued out like this, okay, it's like, what am I digesting in my different relationships? My romantic relationships, my platonic relationships with friends and family, and my self-love, or just, yeah, self-love, our first and only relationship, really, right? Because it's always how we feel first with ourselves and then reflected outwards. So you or someone else, of the energy was manifesting like how to find more a sense of freedom with this and going with the flow, this beautiful feminine energy with the seashell. And then what we really haven't talked about at all here, because they weren't touching before, but I slightly moved them, okay, is that second, my goodness, the second skull here, and I'll just turn it more on its side the way it was, okay, is like now someone's thinking a lot about memories, okay, memories of good luck in my relationships. So it's like there's a focus here, Sagittarius, on, because here we have the elephant. Elephants never forget, represents memories, right? And then we have the four-leaf clover. It's like thinking about which relationships felt really good, okay? Because when that activation happens, right? It helps you or someone else or the energy also have these really strong boundaries coming in within your relationships with that bobcat tooth. And these boundaries around, okay, maybe I don't know all the information about something and I'm waiting. So I'm going to say no, or someone else is going to say no, or the energy's just going to straight up say no. Again, no doesn't always have to be for forever. But it's like you have so much going on here, Sagittarius. It's like you have a transformation in your relationships happening. You have a transformation in your body and mental health. You have a spiritual transformation happening. You have a work transformation happening. All of these transformations, right? So with all of that, right, there could just be like, wait a minute, I need some time to think, or I need time to slow down, or I just need like clear boundaries, okay? And with all of this good luck as well here with the green lucky rabbit's foot, there's good luck in that. Remember, I said the ability to feel comfortable to accept a no or to give a no. And this could have something to do with the home, okay, or where we feel at home in our relationships, okay? Yeah. Now, I also kind of want to go over here actually, because there's only these two other things that we haven't talked about yet at all in the reading, and it'll be hard to see, okay? But here we have the symbol for Capricorn, okay, and then we just have that standalone human tooth bone there. So here, Sagittarius, this is like, could have something to do with a Capricorn in one of your relationships, a sun sign Capricorn, or someone who's got a lot of Capricorn in their chart. But it doesn't have to be, okay? Could be during Capricorn season or all these things. But it could also just be like, well, where is the effort being made in the relationships? Okay, so someone's really chewing over and digesting this. Like, where's the persistent energy? So the goat goes up the mountain, and if they fall down, they get back up and they're stubborn and they just keep going up the mountain. That's the persistent, like, Capricorn energy there, okay? So chewing over and digesting this, like, which relationships should I be persistent with, or which relationships are persistent with me, or vice versa, etc., okay? Now going back all the way over here for a second before we wrap it up and move on, is that with all of this good luck happening, right, we have that deep need to cleanse something here too, with the alligator claw coming again into the center circle. We've got the armadillo bone here, vertebrae bone. We have the feather, and we have the ship anchor. So clearing and cleansing something about a sense of freedom and safety in our relationships. Like, in our relationships, do we need more of a hard outer shell, perhaps, right? But do we also need to work with others Yes, with that coyote claw there. In whatever it is we want to manifest in our relationships. This could also have something to do with 3D physical children, if you have children or someone else does, Sagittarius. Or it could just be a childlike energy here coming in and saying, well, we're doing serious things by clearing and cleansing. We're making a hard outer shell for ourselves to protect ourselves in some way. We know we're working on the boundaries here, but also there could still be this playful energy at the same time. It doesn't have to just be like one or the other, okay? Now, your spiritual team is also here again, double time, right? We know with the angel coin and the coffin. We know we got Pisces energy underneath, okay? So the need to go with the flow. Your spiritual team wants you to go with the flow here, okay? Or work with the Pisces or something to do with the Pisces, or where you have Pisces in your chart. But this chewing over and digesting, also how to be more proactive, assertive, aggressive in the relationships with our support system. That's what's going to bring in new ideas, and listening for these new ideas here, and continuing on how you can follow your North Star here, Sagittarius, and bring in more success with the fish and movement and abundance with the Buckeye. So it could also have something to do here with travel or modes of transportation. It doesn't have to be. And all that abundance also is only going to happen when we clear and cut and cleanse something away that's no longer needed in our relationships, so we can bring in that good luck, okay, with the horseshoe and the ladybug inside. And don't forget, we got your little witch charm here. So this could be a group of friends or a friendly type of energy that wants to help you with this, okay? There's a need to go slow here. Again, work with community and your own individual power. And your loved ones perhaps want to help you work through this confusion, okay? And because the question mark and the cloud and Cupid is all passing through that little heart that's drawn on the mat, this is like the heart chakra. If there's some confusion here for some Sagittarius is about something to do like with, who you love, right? Romantically, platonically, with friends and family, or something about your own self-love here. Your angel teams, your support, your spiritual team is here supporting you, and they want to help you gain more confidence or help you work and leveling up in one of these relationships, or working with someone like a relationship counselor even, but it doesn't have to be, right? But really like have the confidence to feel happy and free and lighter here, because over time Saturn is helping you or someone else with the energy get very serious about your relationships to bring in more balance. Libra energy, the balance scales there that are upside down, right? And then there's feminine energy, there's also masculine energy, right? And as we go backwards, like to look a little bit in the past here too, over here on this section, there was a flexibility with subtle vibrations that maybe started in the past in your relationships, that you or someone else may have been aware of, or the energy was just, you were feeling that, okay, there could have been a lot of abundance that was like long time coming. It could be karmic debt or stuff from past lives even, but also don't forget that with Leo the Lion here and the strawberry, going over some kind of details, like what are the details within my relationships, where's the passion, the creativity, all those things, where's the energy to go over these details, okay? Because as we know, all relationships take work, and it's always a two-person thing, or if it's two people, or if it's a family, or if it's friends, then it's even more people, can be even more complicated. But it's like that individual effort and that persistent energy we talked about too. Also in the past, your spiritual team here, Sagittarius, wanted to bring in this beautiful peaceful energy with the peace doves, and something to do with travel or being by water, working with a teacher, a mentor, a guide there with the apple. Could also be your own leadership qualities, But really chewing over and digesting, this information on what it means to be supported. Is one relationship more supportive than the other? It just feels like a lot of like growing pains too, Sagittarius. So we talked about again with the memories there and the elephant, like thinking about positive memories or positive relationships helps set clearer boundaries too. Um, but lots of beautiful healing here, let's not forget as well. And I feel like this Buckeye there with the cup is positive emotions, okay? Like overwhelmingly like positive emotions when that clearing and cleansing happens, okay? Um, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I might have repeated myself a little bit, but again, it all ties in the way that the bones and charms fell. Okay, so hopefully some of that Sagittarius is making a little bit of sense, or will later. I'm going to put the camera down for a moment while I take a picture, and then also we kind of clear the energy and move on to Capricorn. All right, so yeah, let me just take a picture here before I forget. Okay, we got our picture. So now we're just going to kind of gather the bones and charms and put them all in the little bowl here so they can rest with the crystals for a little bit. But yes, enjoy this time period, Sagittarius. And yeah, let's just clear this out for a moment, and possibly we'll rotate the mat as well. Even though when I cast the bones and charms, my eyes are closed, I still kind of like to just periodically move that mat around. Okay, so we're doing our late night reading tonight. Well, it's not that late, but kind of. So anyway, trying to get all of them in roughly in that first week of June, especially since we didn't get to do the May readings because I was out sick. But yes, anyway, let's put this all in here and clear the energy. Okay. Alright, so I'll put that in the bowl here. I don't know if you guys can, you probably can't hear my cats, but they're like running around in the background with their little zoomies right now. Okay. They love the late night readings. They're like, all right. They're like, let's party. Okay. So we've moved that. Get up our sound bell here. Okay. And then we'll switch this to Capricorn. All right. I'm going to put the camera back up for a little bit so you guys can see me cast the bones and charms. All right. So bear with me for a moment. Stay as still as possible so I don't hit the camera. Okay, hey guys. All right, let's go ahead and clear this energy. Yes. And just do a little more incense too, because why not? They're small little incense match things. But I have to light it with the lighter because the back of the match board wasn't working. I don't know what you call it. The matchstick pack, whatever. Okay. All right, so we got our incense going. We're going to clear some of that energy from the previous reading, from the bones and charms. Okay, clear ourselves as well. Clear our space. A little for you guys as well. Get up in there. Okay. I'm going to put this over here. I need to find an incense holder that will hold that. It's so So let's go ahead and do our sound bell here, Capricorn. So thank you, Sagittarius. We're moving on now to Capricorn. And I always forget to say until the end, but thank you for your likes, your subscribes, your shares and your views, your thumbs up, all those things, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, or eventually TikTok. It does help my channel grow since I am doing these readings for free if you feel guided. Okay, all right, but enough of that, right? Let's go ahead and clear the energy here with our sound vibrations. Now, if you're sensitive to sound, you can feel free to turn it down for a little bit. It won't be for forever. All right, you can take a couple of deep breaths if you feel guided. So this is going to be for Capricorn for June 2025. Okay. Let's put this over here. All right. So I don't know if you guys noticed, I did like switch the music. I have Spotify now without commercials, but I always worry, especially on YouTube, because I don't want the copyright thing. So hopefully it'll be okay. I'm not trying to steal anyone's music, just want background stuff. Just want to say that. All right, anyway, hopefully it's all good. So yes, we're gonna shake the bones and charms in this bowl. That's the way that I have to shuffle and clear the energy. It does get loud again, but it won't be for forever, so just bear with me. All right. So spirits, please guide my hands. Messages for Capricorn, messages for Earth sign Capricorn for June 2025. I almost said January. For June 2025. Messages for Capricorn, messages for Capricorn for January. Okay, y'all were born, some of y'all were born in January or December. I keep saying January. So it could be something about January Capricorns in particular. But anyway, June. Spirits, messages for Capricorn in June 2025. In June 2025. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for the highest good? Messages for Capricorn for June 2025. Messages for Capricorn. Messages for Capricorn. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Capricorn. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Earth sign Capricorn for June 2025. Messages for Capricorn. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Capricorn. Messages for Capricorn for June 2025 for the highest vibration. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Capricorn. Messages for Capricorn for June 2025. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Capricorn for the highest good. Earth sign Capricorn, the goat, for June 2025. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Capricorn for June 2025. Spirit, guide my hands. Messages for Capricorn for the goat for June 2025. Messages for Capricorn, Spirit, guide my hands for June 2025. Messages for Capricorn for June. Messages for Capricorn for June for 2025. Messages for Capricorn. Messages for Capricorn for June 2025. Messages for Capricorn. Messages for Capricorn for June 2025. Messages for Capricorn. Messages for Capricorn. Alright. Some of that was like reluctant energy to come out, Capricorn. That's for somebody. But not necessarily a bad thing. It just, there was a lot of, stubbornness or reluctance there. Okay. So anyway, right now, I'm going to be flipping over the bones and charms that I can. So in a few moments, when I take the camera down, you guys can see everything more clearly, and so some of them are already kind of be ready to look at. Let's just bring some of these closer. So this doesn't change the meaning when I bring it closer, it just makes it easier for the picture that I'll take at the end as well. Don't go so far. Okay. So delicate. Okay. I'll deal with that little part later when we get to it in the reading. I'll do the rest as we go through. Okay. Sorry guys, my contact is like doing something funny. Okay. All right, we're good. So now I'm going to find out where Spirit wants to start this reading, since it's always different for every reading. So I'm just going to kind of hover my hands over and see where the energy is leading me. Spirits, please guide my hands. Where do you want me to start this Capricorn June reading? Right there in the middle, pretty much. Okay. Where I put my pen. There it is. Okay. So it's like right in here. I'll just leave it like that. Okay. So let me go ahead and take the camera down so you guys can see everything more up close. Okay. Here we go for a ride. So, as you can see in a moment here, Capricorn, a lot of your bones and charms are pretty spread out this month or this time whenever you see this reading, since all the readings that I do are timeless, right? Since time is fluid and relative. But, yeah, I mean, I can't really say that one section is like busier than the other. I mean, kind of. You could say that like the two, busiest sections could be this one and then this one. So it'd be relationships and love, and spiritual, unconscious intuition. Those are kind of the busiest. There's still a lot going on in work and money and body and mental health, but it could be Spirit wants you to focus more on these two areas. But then you also have a lot of stuff that crosses over in the center circle, and when that happens, it affects all the kind of different areas. Excuse me. All right, so I'm gonna get a sip of water and then we'll start in the middle there. All right, so Capricorn, let's see what we got going on. So they want to start right there on that alligator claw, okay? And it's touching lots of other things. The two biggest things that we can see, right, is the green lucky rabbit's foot and the alligator claw. They both represent good luck. Alligator claw also represents manifesting something, reaching and striving for something, okay? And I can see that, like, a big thing here, Capricorn, that you or someone else, multiple people, general environment, situation, okay, however you come to this reading or what you come to this reading for, right, could really be about reaching and striving to have some type of level up in one area of your life or multiple, right? Because we have that crown there. It could also be about you or someone else working with someone that has more knowledge or confidence than you to help with whatever that confusion is, because we do have the cloud there kind of like right underneath the crown. Now I'm gonna go ahead and lift up very gently this alligator claw, and we'll see all the wonderful things underneath here. Okay, so Capricorn, there's a lot going on here. Oh my god, that's so cool. Look at that. So I didn't even see that before. Your baby leg is in my symbol for Capricorn. Okay, it's like this. Well, I can't necessarily put it back in the way it was exactly, but we'll say it's like that. Okay, so when the baby is down, this is about a need for rest or processing something when we're sleeping. Okay, so it's like you, Capricorn, could be dealing with another Capricorn or something to do with Capricorn season, or even it's just about, again, putting in this effort to either get more physical rest, but also to process some type of information here. It's like, I need more rest so I can be myself better, right? I don't know. That's just what's coming through. There's also like a real heavy emphasis on freedom here, because the freedom handcuffs are on top of Pegasus, the winged horse. So it's double freedom here. So this is on the baby's mind. Okay, this is processing while someone's sleeping, right? And you could say spiritual downloads or revelations, aha moments here. Again, working, we had it here with the crown, but then also the apple, working with a teacher, a mentor, a guide, or it's your own leadership qualities. It's like, I really want to level up. I want to raise, right? If we're talking about work, I want better health in my body and mental health. I want better things happening in my relationships. I want better spiritual, unconscious, intuitive stuff. It's like better everything, right? And I get that. Who doesn't? But what I really love here too, Capricorn, if I just move those over a little bit, is working with this teacher, this mentor, this guide, or your own leadership qualities helping you deal with this, is clearing and cleansing something. So there's all this beautiful healing energy that can come in here, Capricorn, with the lizard, right? So as we know, certain lizards, you cut off their tail and it regrows. So it's like rebirth, okay? So I'm going to put the alligator claw roughly back kind of where it was, okay? So double good luck, right? And then if now I move the green lucky rabbit's foot over, okay? We have all these beautiful new ideas coming in here. Look at that, Capricorn, okay? With that lightning bolt. There's all these emotions, like heavy water energy emotions about whatever it is, like we have dreams for our life. Okay, so right now I'm not talking about any section because they're all in the middle. This applies to kind of everything. It wasn't like start in one section over the other. It's just like, this is where we're at. Okay. And we also see the frog here, Capricorn. So it's some type of leap of faith to reach for this level up in one of these areas of your life or multiple areas. There could also be a leap of faith helping you or someone else with the energy. Again, cut something away, you know, that's no longer needed. So again, all of this good luck can like continue to kind of come in. If we put that green lucky rabbit's foot back, it would also be touching the dog ankle bone here. And going down here, let's see, does it touch that one? Yeah, it does. It also touches the snake vertebrae all the way down here, okay? So having more flexibility within your general support systems, whether it's friends, family, romantic partner, etc. Okay, so there's a big kind of leap of faith to cut some things away, so these new ideas can come in. Stay. All right. Since we're kind of like going in this way, I'm going to continue into relationships and love. Because, like I said, Spirit didn't say necessarily to start on one area or the other. They were just like in the middle. I'm like, okay. So we kind of went around, but then when I was following this, it leads into here. So, anyway, you don't have a whole lot here in the past that Spirit wants to talk about. A little bit with that key over there, half on the black mat, half on the white mat. So it's interesting here, Capricorn. It's like there's in your relationships, again, whether it's romantic, platonic, self-love, this masculine energy to be proactive or assertive around finding a sense of balance in your relationships. Okay, there with the yin yang charm and then the first raccoon penis bone. And we all have masculine and feminine inside of us, regardless of gender, how we identify, all the things. But there is a little bit of challenges underneath here. Okay, this is pretty sure this is the mountain charm. Okay, but guess what, Capricorn? You're the goat. Okay. You climb up mountains all the damn time. So it's like, oh, okay, there's some challenges. That's okay, because I'm going to get some answers too with the key there. And I'm going to get, right, this balance, striving for this balance. We can also see here, Capricorn, that maybe you feel that your wishes aren't being heard, like yours or someone else's here. It could go vice versa, right? Because you have the listening bells on top of the turkey wishbone, okay? So that's never fun, right? That could be part of the challenges, like someone's not hearing me or I'm not hearing them, or there's some kind of communication thing. But remember, you have all this good luck, so don't worry too much, right? And again, you're the goat. You climb mountains every day, all day. So over here, Capricorn, we do have Leo the lion right next to the seahorse, and then it's leading into the spider and the spider web. So this could have something to do with the Leo or during Leo season, where you have Leo in your chart. It could be one of those things, all those things, or none of those things, or in addition to those things. It could be about where is the passion and the creativity, the fiery energy with my family. This could be blood family, it could be parents, relatives, or it could be whoever you consider your tribe, your group of trusted people. Okay? And this is affecting like your whole relationship environment. Okay? And I see it as a beautiful thing though, because underneath here, Capricorn, okay, this is Cupid. And Cupid, well, now it just flipped over, but there you go. Cupid is touching, all these things we're touching, the spider and the spider web, and then it's also touching the safety pin, right? So if someone's like, where is the passion, the creativity within the family, within my people, are my wishes being heard, that kind of thing, it's like, yes, your loved ones, people that love you, they're pointing to the spider web, they're pointing also to the seahorse, and then there's like a beautiful safety here, okay? So I definitely like that. Now I'm going to lift up and move over the green lucky rabbit's foot again, because we didn't talk about yet right here, we have a little bit of some questions or doubt here. It's not super far away from the mountain. That could be part of the questions or the doubts, right? could be part of the challenges. So I feel like the message here again, Capricorn, is to clear and cut something away, to be more flexible in your relationships, okay? Because that dog ankle bone does cross over into the heart that's on the mat here. Again, we have that snake vertebrae, talking about like maybe our support system or our relationships are changing or evolving, right? There's the shedding and clearing of the skin. You had good luck with the green lucky rabbit's foot, right? How did I have it? It was like this, something like that. Also over here, right on the line, you have your second kind of good luck with the four-leaf clover. So that's beautiful, okay? I definitely really like that here for you. So, yeah, when we clear and cut something away, there's all these emotions around these new ideas. Okay, working with a teacher, or mentor, or guide, like we said, or wanting to level up our own self-confidence here, to get more of a sense of freedom, and processing all these things perhaps while we are sleeping, or getting that deep need for rest. And if there's confusion, right, it could just be because if we don't feel like ourselves, then it's always, or we don't have enough rest, then things are going to feel like harder or a little bit more confusing. But I feel like there's a simple solution to that. Just do the rest, right? And it's not just about actual, like, okay, I have 5 hours to sleep. It's resting other things, not just while we're sleeping, like taking time for play as well, okay, and just resting the mind and all that. All right. So anyway, Capricorn, let's go ahead and move now into your work and money section. Okay, this is the next section here. There's some things going on in the past I want to look at before we move back onto the mat. Okay, and there we have our butterfly. Beautiful. Okay. So, in the past here, in terms of work or money or finances or a sense of being valued, there is like beautiful Pisces energy here with the twin fish, like learning to go with the flow, with our support system, whether it's with coworkers, a boss, okay, or just our general support system, romantic partner, friends, etc. Setting some boundaries here, okay, with that bobcat tooth. And as we go this way, it could be Capricorn, that I was about to say Sagittarius symbol, that in the past there was some type of work or money or financial transformation that happened either with a Sagittarius, during Sagittarius season, or just in general. It's like the work and money and financial goals maybe changed. So someone was chewing over and digesting this a lot in the past, okay? And then as we move back onto the mat into the future, current, present energies, we have the coyote penis bone here. We've got the chair. We have the coffin charm. We got the strawberries, and we got the book charm. So here it's like there's this masculine energy coming in, Capricorn. Your spiritual team here, your past on loved ones, friends, family, ancestors, spirit guides, perhaps want you to go over some details about the home where you physically live, okay, or someone else. It could also be like going over the details. Well, where do I feel at home when I'm working? Where do I feel at home or safe with the money, the finances, etc.? There's a lot of learning or researching energy here. Again, the fine details of something, because when you see the book charm really close to the strawberry, it's like really go over the details here. Your spiritual team's like, go over the details. Not that you don't already do that, Capricorn, but there's something here that's like extra, like go over the details. I do see a little bit of stagnant energy with the lock charm there, and this could be more from past stuff, okay? Or this stagnant energy, this block is like a long time coming, but I wouldn't like focus too much on that, because you also have like all this really good positive stuff happening, okay? As we go this way here, Capricorn, because these things are also on the line and touching, so they apply to work and money. is you have the fish vertebrae there, you got the mermaid, now you have the coyote claw is then touching the witch charm. So this is like reaching and striving to work with a group of friends or a friendly type of energy, and this over time can really make you feel, or make someone else with the energy feel, more support. Okay, and that could be again with the work, the money, the finances. So that could be co-workers, it could be a boss, it could be financial institutions, whatever, etc. But you know, I like that energy. And then as we pull back out, okay, we can see again that whatever falls in the center circle affects that way as well. So there's going to be answers when there's a striving for this balance to work through these challenges at work with the money, the finances, okay? Your loved ones want you to feel safe here and know that you are safe in your environment, okay? Again, it could have something to do with the Leo, or where is the passion, the creativity, the fiery energy with the family environment, whether it's relatives, blood family, or whoever you consider your tribe or your group of people. If part of the challenges are that someone is feeling like their wishes aren't being heard, that again, if we lift this up and move it, and if there's also part of the challenges are that there are some doubts or some questions, Spirit is saying here, Capricorn, to continue on to clear and cut something away, all right? But also to have more flexibility with the work, the money, the finances, and lean on our support system. So when we put back the green lucky rabbit's foot, roughly where it was, right? The snake vertebrae is almost holding up, okay, that green lucky rabbit's foot. That's your support system. Again, holding this up. So co-workers, boss, friends, family, romantic partner, etc. Okay. So there's a leap of faith here around cutting something away at work with the money, the finances. Making a leap of faith is doing something that we don't know what the outcome is going to be, but we do it anyway. Or someone else does it, or the energy shifts that way. It doesn't have to be you or another person. But there are a lot of emotions around these new ideas coming in with the water charm and the lightning bolt. When we clear and cut these things away, possibly here Capricorn, with a teacher, a mentor, a guide at work with the money, the finances, or your own leadership qualities there with the apple. But it's so cute because this time it looks like the lizard wants to eat the apple, right? And so the lizard represents healing, okay? And providing that healing is working with someone else here, or strengthening your own leadership qualities to bring in also that sense of freedom, okay? Was roughly, now that was also touching the baby's head. Okay, so then the last thing here, Capricorn, would be, you know, if there's some confusion with a teacher, a mentor, a guide, or a higher up, or a boss, or a coworker, or there's some confusion about, man, will I ever get that raise, or will I ever get, you know, whatever at work, there's a need for deep rest here to download all these messages. So you can continue to feel more like yourself, and so you can charge your batteries, so to speak, to keep being the goat climbing up that mountain, right? But yeah, that was very interesting, Capricorn. Okay, so that was for the relationships and work and money. We got that. Okay, so now let's move on over here to your body and mental health, Capricorn, or someone else's, right? If we look and we pull all the way out, we have one skull here in the past and work. I'm sorry, not work and money. It's been a long day, sorry guys. In body and mental health. Then the other one is all the way out here in the spiritual unconscious. So where we see a skull can tell us a lot where someone's mind is at or will be at, right? So we can see that in the past, someone was maybe thinking a lot about someone's health here or your own, okay? Maybe also thinking about, well, where do I feel safe and free to make certain choices with my body, with my mental health, okay, with that chip charm there. But look at this yes coin, okay? Um, I think, yeah, so Sagittarius didn't get the yes. I think you, Capricorn, and Scorpio are the only ones this month that got the yes. Um, and it's not like, you know, anything bad with people who didn't get it, all right? But when you get that yes, it can definitely be some kind of green light, all right? So you may be receiving a yes or giving a yes with something here to do with the body and mental health, or it could just straight up be, yes, I'm going to be proactive, assertive, aggressive with my own health here, okay, with that raccoon penis bone, all right? Excuse me. So here, Capricorn, I can see someone chewing over and digesting, thinking a lot about cutting things away, because here you have the feather, and then also you have those scissors that were over there that also cross the line into this section, right? And so clearing and cutting and cleansing something away within the body or the mind. And this is so straight up and like clear in lots of ways. I'm laughing because I have a lot of Capricorn in my chart too. But look here, Capricorn. The fork is like right at the person's head or their neck, right? So this can be really saying for some of you guys, that didn't work. I wanted to go that way. Hold on, I'm doing it upside down. Okay, there we go. So if you see that, look at the fork right going into the neck. Something about nutrition, okay, is big here. What are we physically eating? It's more physical than mental. If the fork was closer to the head, I would say it's more mental. It could still be both, but it feels more physical here. So just ask those questions. What am I physically eating? What is the other person? If this reading is about someone else or just the energy, like what am I physically eating? Okay. But you could say that like this is one of your least active sections. Sorry, I gotta turn it back around so I can see where I'm at. So whatever you're doing here, Capricorn, or someone else is, I would say, you know, generally keep it up, because Spirit wants you to focus more on these other areas. So even though it's calling someone out there with the fork, it's not like terrible, right? It's just kind of making us ask those questions from time to time. I do see with the bat here right on the line and close to the fish that there could be a lot of subtle vibrations that are bringing about success within the body and the mind for someone here. There's also happiness. Look at that. Remember I said whatever you're doing or someone else is doing, keep doing it, and there's good luck as well here with that horseshoe and the ladybug inside and all this beautiful movement, okay? Can also be referring to exercise, right? Exercise is good for the body and the mind, or it could just be showing all this movement as well. But there's happiness, there's good luck, there's success, right? You got the yes coin. Very, very cool. Now also right here on the line as well, and I'm just going to flip it over, is you have the Buckeye here at Capricorn, so even more abundance and good luck for health too, since it's right on the line. And someone could be thinking or chewing over and digesting this with that human tooth bone. And then you have the envelope charm here next to the money bags, next to the hummingbird. So here, Capricorn, this is like you could be receiving a message or giving a message or some type of information coming in or going out that has a lot of abundance with it, and it's like a big wish for this information regarding someone's health. It could be about doing something non-traditional with this information, or doing something that maybe other people don't necessarily understand, but you or someone else should do it anyway. Okay, with that hummingbird there. Yes, Nefertiti. It's okay. And if we go this way, hey, nicely, guys. Hermes. if we go this way, Capricorn, sorry, we also have masculine charm here. So being proactive, assertive with this message, this information, again, that either comes in or kind of goes out. All right. But I see it as like very positive. Okay. All right. I would also say the last thing here about body and mental health, right? Again, everything that's in the center applies that way. So, if you don't feel heard or someone doesn't feel heard about what their wishes are for someone's health, and maybe there's just like feeling like, oh my God, there's just challenges or there's just doubt, it's not necessarily true, Capricorn, because there is going to be balance and answers. And the people that love you want you to feel safe. They want you to feel that your body and mental health environment, feels good. So that's beautiful, even though, again, you or someone else might feel like, someone's not listening or being heard. It could just be like some kind of miscommunication. This could be something to do with a Leo or during Leo season. It could have something to do with family, blood family, or whoever you consider your tribe or group of people. But when we add a sense of flexibility here and cutting things away that are no longer useful for the health, that's when we're going to have double luck, right? With the green lucky rabbit's foot, also the 4-leaf clover. When someone or the energy makes some type of leap of faith as well, to let in all these new ideas. They could be very emotional, new ideas about health for the body and the mind. But this supports this sense of freedom, double freedom there. It supports also the thing that we were talking about, the general theme for your reading is leveling up, working through any confusion, working with a teacher, a mentor, or a guide, your own leadership qualities here to clear something and have this beautiful healing energy, okay? And then also too, I have to put this back first before I do that. That Capricorn is just about getting that deep rest that we talked about as well, to download and have these revelations and aha moments. Like we need that rest, and not just when we're physically sleeping, but when we have playtime to relax as well, okay? All right, so with all that being said, let's come into your last section here, Capricorn. And this is your spiritual unconscious section, or also known as your intuition. We have quite a few things here in the past that we'll talk about real quickly before we get into the center on the mat there for that section. Okay, so here we can see we've got the rope charm next to one of the seashells. We have our other skull we were talking about is showing up here. Okay, so when we have seashells, double feminine energy showing up here. This is your listening seashell. So it could be in terms of someone's spirituality here in the past, someone was really listening for, how do I follow my North Star in terms of my intuition? There could have also been something going on here, Capricorn, in the past where you or someone else, or the energy was like going through a big spiritual transformation, and maybe the spiritual unconscious intuitive goals changed a little bit. It could also have something to do with a Sagittarius or during Sagittarius season, but it doesn't have to be. What I really also like, if we go this way, Capricorn, is, I forgot to flip this earlier, here we have your peace doves, right? So this beautiful peaceful energy maybe started in the past because someone was proactive or assertive with being like, yeah, I want to be peaceful, so I can access my intuition more, okay? Or I want my unconscious to not be constantly working on things. I want it to be peaceful, and going back to the deep rest, right? Restorative rest. So here we also see very beautifully, Capricorn, the angel coin in the past here in your spiritual unconscious. So that's your spiritual team, ancestors, guardian angels, past and loved ones, friends, family, etc. There could have something to do here with a Libra or during Libra season. but doesn't have to be. It could also be that in the past, a big part of having that peaceful energy or striving for that peaceful energy was having things being more in balance, like an equal give and take. All right. This could also have something here to do, Capricorn, for some of you guys that travel in your sleep, or being by water, and how healing it is. Because there's something here too, Capricorn, about your sense of individuality and your community like coming around you to support your spiritual, unconscious, intuitive goals. Okay. Now I see here that there is the irresponsibility coin showing up in really interesting category. Capricorn, I said category, but also Capricorn. Look at your ruler there, Capricorn. Daddy Saturn is underneath the irresponsibility coin. That doesn't even make sense, right? Because Saturn is responsible. It is getting organized, getting serious, doing things, right? So it's almost like when it's like this, if someone was being irresponsible with their intuition or their spirituality or their unconscious, if it's you or someone else, or the energy here, Capricorn, Saturn is going to take care of that, and it's going to slow things down like even more. Or if things weren't going fast enough, it's because something wasn't right here before. And this is in the current, future, present energies, okay? So it could still be going on, but it's like double manifesting here with both these raccoon claws together, along with the turtle. It's like this is not the time to push so hard here. There's something about, again, not doing everything alone, Capricorn. I know I say that to you a lot, but it's like with this deer tooth, chewing over and digesting how to bring in more feminine energy, soft receiving energy to work with the community and the sense of individuality here. You have to have both. So if there's the irresponsibility energy, is like because someone doesn't feel a sense of spiritual community, that could definitely be there as well. So how do we get that? Well, we first of all look at like the memories, okay, from your ancestors, your spiritual team, your guardian angels. Like, how beautiful is this, Capricorn? It's like the cup is right next to the skeleton hand, and then the skeleton hand was on top of the elephant. So clearing and cleansing some of these memories as well there with the leaf, okay, is then gonna lead to all this abundance, okay, Capricorn. So beautiful, spiritual unconscious abundance. This could also lead to, Capricorn, doing things that are non-traditional, or doing things that you're naturally good at. That's what this section is all about. We're in the spiritual unconscious intuitive section, okay? So that's what the hummingbird does naturally. And when you do this, or when someone else does, or the energy shifts this way, Capricorn, there could also be a spiritual message, okay, that you give, or someone gives to you, or it comes in general, goes out in general. But this is about some type of like action that needs to be taken for this spiritual wish, but it has to start spiritually first before it moves into the 3D, if that makes sense. So if someone is chewing over and digesting this with this human tooth bone, all of this abundance and happiness that's like right on the other side with the sun there, and even more good luck on the other side as well. So when we look at the bat here that's right on the line, because it also applies this way, that's about the subtle vibrations, okay? Being really good when we talk about the spiritual unconscious or the intuition. This is what's going to make us feel more successful, like in those areas. So again, when you get this deep rest, okay, to process all of these transformations and things that are happening, you're going to start to feel more like yourself, and a sense of freedom here, like spiritual, unconscious, intuitive freedom, okay? And all this good luck with that, and manifesting whatever it is that you want spiritually, and intuitively, unconsciously. When you work with this teacher, this mentor, this guide, or your own leadership qualities, it's going to bring in more healing. It's going to bring in even more new ideas. Okay, so then there won't necessarily be any questions about how you can level up or have more confidence, or how you can make this or someone else, or the energy, this spiritual leap of faith to continue to keep cutting things away and adding more like flexibility, right? So if we're always used to doing something one way, and then someone's like, or the energy is like, no, you got to be more flexible. Sometimes that takes time to process and like to agree to, right? But especially if we want different results, okay? Because there are answers. Remember that back here with the key, and there's also balance, okay, that's there for the taking. So if we work through the challenges and any doubts, her loved ones want us to know that we are safe, okay, and they want you to feel the sense of being in a family and having that passion and love and creativity within whatever is your spiritual family to your intuitive family. All right, so that was a lot, Capricorn, but really, really beautiful reading. I hope some of that, makes sense at some point. Let me just fix the camera here for a second, because I know it's like struggling to focus. But let's see. Okay. Maybe it stays like that. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to take your picture here before I forget, and I will be posting it on my Facebook page under this video when this live is done, in case you want to look at this again later at another time. But thank you guys so much, and enjoy this time period. Really, really beautiful reading. And yes, I will be back maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, with the rest of the signs moving forward. So continuing with Aquarius and Pisces will be the next two, okay? But I did want to say thank you guys so much for your support, for your likes, for your shares, for your subscriptions. I'm trying to get the camera to focus, but it may not do it. Okay, there we go. Whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok eventually, if you feel guided, it does help my channel grow and show support for these free readings that I do. All right, but anyway, guys, take care, and I will see you later. All right, bye.